I'm going to show you how to disassemble this coffee machine and fix it. If it's water leaking or the grinder's wrecked, usually it's one or the other. Anyways, if you want to go straight for the grinder, please click on this link I'll put on the side. It will show you how to just get to the grinder and fix the grinder itself. Now if you are the water leaks or any other problems, I'll show you how to disassemble it. First you need to take the tray out from the start and take the water side clip off the other side. You hold it up at a 9-degree angle and pop the clips out. Sometimes they tend to break, so be careful when popping them out. Now you'll need a specialised tool for the back, and there's 4 screws, and to get these 4 screws out you'll need to, if you don't have the specialised tool, it's like a little screw, you can use pliers to get them out. Use the bigger pliers that you just saw. They grip onto the screw a lot more better, and you can take them out. Now I'll put a link down the bottom also where I get all my parts from, so if you have any problems, or you can get the service manual off there as well. It's a great website. They do not sponsor me or give me free parts, so I fix my coffee machines for my family and friends. They love coffee. I've never tried a coffee anyways. So you want to take the plastic cover out of the grinding section. All these coffee machines are similar in design, internal parts and external. Take the water section out, pour it out, either side. They're the specialised tools that I got offline, and it comes with all little bits and pieces like all the hex keys and everything that will come handy. I bought the whole kit for $15 delivered. But I've got my own tools. There's 2 little screws up the top, and they're at the front of the coffee machine on the top. Once you lift up the 2 little side flaps, you need to undo them. It's handy to have little plastic containers to put all your screws in different sections. It's a way of knowing where the screws go in, but you don't really need to. 1 container is good enough. There's not too many variety of screws in there, and you can work it out. Now there's a big shiny metal plate on top. You don't need that. Now what I'm doing here is picking out all the coffee out of the little screw, out of the top of the screws, because if the little hex key doesn't fit in there properly, you'll round the hex and then you'll get into all sorts of trouble. So use like a little pick or a vacuum cleaner to get all the little bits of coffee out of the little screw sections before you unscrew them. Press reasonably hard down when you unscrew them, not hard enough to break plastic, because if it does start threading you might get in bit of trouble. You can also use a flathead screwdriver if you go past the threading stage to try and get it undone. Now there's 2 screws at the front of the coffee machine that you need to do. They're located there. I've put this video in fast forward so it can save you guys a bit of time. Now I am completely disassembling this unit so you can see the whole thing. Like I said, you don't need to disassemble the whole unit if it's just for small little basic things. Now you are meant to take off the lid first. I don't know why I'm taking off the sides. This is a video that I made quite early on. After undoing the top 2 screws, you lift off the lid. The lid comes off quite easily first. You can take that side panel off, but you take off the lid. Also, it's really good that you pull aside the water side cap off first. you pull the facing out towards you, because it's just easier to take off this side plate, this one here. If you hold it a bit to the, so you're looking front on, you pull the the left hand side out a little bit. It gives this side of plastic a little bit more angle to pull the plastic out. I know it looks a bit rough, but I didn't break anything. You just gotta be patient with these panels to try and get all the little clips out. This is the first time working on this particular coffee machine, so I'm just still trying to work out all the little plastic clips. Once you get it, it's a lot more easier. Notice that there was an extra little plastic screw underneath there. So have a good look around, make sure there's no... Oh, that was for the facing, now I remember. There was another plastic screw for the facing to hold the facing in place, so I can put the facing more of a angle so I could get it out easier. Now, although I look like I'm jerking it really hard, the video is in fast forward and I'm not really jerking it that hard. Now, on the side here you can see all the water lines. So what you do is you plug it back in, turn it on, and you see where you're leaking water from. Usually that little thing down there that I just pointed to, that corrodes there, and you'll need to order a new one of those. They cost about $7 or $10 from the website that I get them from. So you just follow the lines. Sometimes the lines are blocked, so you'll find like a little piece of dirt in there if you're not using a filter in your water filter section. That happens, so unblock the lines and just replace little seals that you get a whole seal kit off that website. Now there's the capacitors here on the side. You got to see if they're bubbled up or not. If they're not bubbled, they're sweet. If they're bubbled up, round domed on the end, that means they're faulty. Just order some from your local electronics store and replace them. Make sure the voltage can be slightly more, but the UFs need to be the same. Now there's 4 screws on the back underneath those plastic covers that you took off. So not the same 4 screws, they're 4 screws in the same positions but slightly off to them. You couldn't see them before. So you got to remove them to take the whole back panel off. As a reminder, you don't need to take all this off. I'm just showing you you can fix your problem without taking all these panels off. Just remove the panels that you need to take off. I'm removing the whole lot so I can show you guys how to remove them, because I remember the first time I pulled a coffee machine apart, it was actually quite difficult, especially working out those specialised screws at the back. Anyways, try and mark down the wires. Use a text to write down left or right when you remove them from paneling or items like the coffee grinder later on. There's a white and a black wire that goes to the grinder. Make sure you mark it down on which one's left and which one's right. It just makes things a whole lot more easier when you put it back, and so your grinder's not working backwards. Okay, now I'm going to also all these sprockets that you see, well, you probably can't see too well in the video, but you'll see them well when you're disassembling your unit. Try to lubricate all those with food grade grease. Don't use engine oil and stuff. Now there's 2 screws in this coffee holder. You'll need to clean out the little screws, and you can do that with a little pick or a vacuum cleaner. So also press down reasonably hard because you can't get it all out, and undo the 2 screws. There's also a screw in the middle, like a little cap that you'll need to take off in the middle first. I've previously taken this coffee machine apart, it looks like, so, or someone else has, and the cap is already off. Anyways, now that's where the grinder unit